may always be manifested in my heart. Vrindavana Ramya Sthan Divya Chintamani Dham Vrindavana Ramya Sthan Divya Chintamani Dham Ratana Mandira Manohar Ratana Mandira Manohar Abhrita Kalindi Nire Rajahamsa Keli Kare Tahe Shobe Kana Kakama Shobe kana kama Tar madhye hema pitha ashtadale beshtita I got it. Ashtadale pradhana nayika Ashtadale pradhana nayika Madhye Ratnasane Vasya Chendue Jane Tar Madhye Ratnasane Vasya Chendue Jane Shama Sange Sundari Radhika Or Palavanya Rashi Amya Pariche Kashi Or Palavanya Rashi Amya Pariche Kashi Hasya parihasa sambhashane Hasya parihasa sambhashane Narottama dasako nityalila sukhamar Dasakoy Nitya Lila Sukhamoy Narottama Dasakoy Nitya Lila Sukhamoy Narottama Dasakoy Nitya Lila Sukhamoy Sadai Spuruk Mora Mane Sadai Spuruk Mora Mane Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajakacarya Shtota Shri Srimad Charnaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajakacarya Shtota Shri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnavind Ki Jai Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktavind Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Go Gopinath Shyam Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan Ki Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Navadev Mayapur Dham Ki Jagannath Puri Ki Ganga Mai Ki Jamuna Mai Ki Bhakti Devi Ki Tulasi Devi Ki Samaveta Bhaktavrinda Ki taking over the world with Srila Prabhupada's transcendental book distribution Ki. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Okay. So we're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 9, text number 35. Yatha, I guess we'll just recite the verse because we've been doing it since morning. So, Yatha Mahanti Bhutani Bhuteshu Cha Vacheshvanu Pravishtanya Pravishtani Tata Teshu Nateshvaham Yatha Mahanti Bhutani Bhuteshu Cha Vacheshvanu Pravishtanya Pravishtani Tata Teshu Nateshvaham Yatha Mahanti Bhutani Bhuteshu Cha Vacheshvanu Pravishtanya Pravishtani Tata Teshu Nateshvaham Yata Mahanti Bhutani Yata Mahanti Bhutani Bhuteshu Chavateshvanu Pravishtanya Pravishtani Tatateshu Nateshvaham. Mataji's Yata Pramanti Bhutani Bhuteshu Chavacheshvanu Pravishtanya Pravishtani Tatateshu Nateshvaham. Yatha, just as Mahanti, the universal, Bhutani, elements, Bhuteshu, Avacheshu, in the minute and gigantic, Anu, after, Pravishtani, entered, Apravishtani, not entered, Tatha, so, Teshu, in them, Na, not, Teshu, in them, Aham, myself. Is it too loud? I think it's too loud. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. O Brahma, please know that the universal elements enter into the cosmos and at the same time do not enter into the cosmos. Similarly, I myself also exist within everything created and at the same time I am outside everything. So we can continue from the purport where we left off, and it starts off with, the impersonalist can imagine. Yep, right there. Okay. The impersonalist can imagine or even perceive the Supreme Brahman is thus all-pervading, and therefore they conclude that there is no possibility of his personal form. Herein lies the mystery of transcendental knowledge. This mystery is transcendental love of Godhead, and one who is surcharged with transcendental love of Godhead can without difficulty see the personality of God in every atom, every movable and immovable object. And at the same time, he can see the personality of Godhead in his own abode, Goloka, enjoying eternal pastimes with his eternal associates who are also expansions of his transcendental existence. This vision is the real mystery of spiritual knowledge as stated by the Lord in the beginning. Sa rahasyam tad angam cha. So this is from verse number 31. This mystery is the most confidential part of knowledge of the Supreme, and it is impossible for mental speculators to discover by dint of intellectual gymnastics. The mystery can be revealed through the process recommended by Brahmaji in the Brahma Samhita 538 as follows. Premanjana chirita bhakti vilochanena santa sadaiva hidayesha vilokayanti yam shama sundaram achintya gunaswarupam govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. I worship the original personality of Godhead Govinda, whom the pure devotees, their eyes smeared with the ointment of love of Godhead, always observe within their hearts. This Govinda, the original personality of Godhead, is Shama Sundar with all transcendental qualities. Therefore, although he is present in every atom, the Supreme Personality of Godhead may not be visible to the dry speculators. Still, the mystery is unfolded before the eyes of pure devotees because of their eyes are anointed with love of Godhead. And this love of Godhead can be attained only by the practice of transcendental loving service of the Lord and nothing else. The vision of the devotees is not ordinary. It is purified by the process of devotional service. In other words, as the universal elements are both within and without, similarly the Lord's name, form, quality, pastimes, entourage, etc., as they are described in the revealed scriptures or as performed in the Vaikunthas, far, far beyond the material cosmic manifestation, are factually being televised in the heart of the devotee. The man with a poor fund of knowledge cannot understand, although by material science one can see things far away by means of television. Factually, the spiritually developed person is able to have the television of the kingdom of God always reflected within his heart. That is a mystery of knowledge of the personality of Godhead. The Lord can award anyone and everyone liberation, mukti from the bondage of material existence, yet he hardly awards the privilege of love of Godhead, as confirmed by Narada. Muktim dadhati karhichit sma bhakti yogam. Smana bhakti yogam. This transcendental devotional service of the Lord is so wonderful that the occupation keeps a deserving devotee always wrapped in psychological activities without deviation from the absolute truth, from the absolute touch, Thus, love of Godhead developed in the heart of a devotee is a great mystery. Brahmaji previously told Narada that the desires of Brahmaji are never unfulfilled. Why? Because he is always absorbed in transcendental loving service of the Lord. Nor has he any desire in his heart, save and except the transcendental loving service of the Lord. That is the beauty and mystery of the process of Bhakti Yoga. And the Lord's desire is infallible because he is Achyuta. Similarly, the desires of devotees is in the transcendental loving service of Lord Achyuta are also infallible. This is very difficult for the layman to understand without knowledge of the mystery of devotional service, as it is very difficult to know the potency of a touchstone. A touchstone is rarely found. A pure devotee of Lord is also rarely to be seen. Even amongst millions of liberated souls, Kotishvapi Mahamane, out of all kinds of perfections attained by the process of knowledge, yoga, perfection in devotional service, is the highest of all and the most mysterious also. Even more mysterious than the 8 kinds of mystic perfection attained by the devotees of yogic performances. In the Bhagavad Gita 1864, the Lord therefore advised Arjuna about this Bhakti Yoga. Sarva guhyatamam bhuhya shuname paramam vachaha. Just hear from me again about the most confidential part of the instructions of the Bhagavad Gita. This was confirmed by Brahmaji to Narada in the following words. Idam bhagavatam nama yan me bhagavatoditam sangraho yam vibhutinam tvam etat vipuli kuru. Brahma said to Narada, whatever I have spoken to you about the Bhagavatam was explained to me by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and I am advising you to expand these topics nicely so that people may easily understand the mysterious Bhakti Yoga by transcendental loving service to the Lord. It is to be noted here that the mystery of Bhakti Yoga was disclosed to Brahmaji by the Lord himself. Brahmaji explained the same mystery to Narada, Narada explained it to Vyasa, Vyasa explained it to Shukadeva Goswami. And that same knowledge is coming down an unalloyed chain of disciplic succession. If one is fortunate enough to have received the knowledge in transcendental disciplic succession, surely he will have a chance to understand the mystery of the Lord and that of the Bhagavatam, the sound incarnation of the Lord. Actually, I wanted to sing Guru Parampara, but we sang the other one. Om Agyanatimirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manubhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadam Mahyam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utaf Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Sagajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vatam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagan Lalita Shri Vishakan Vatam Shah He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusate Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripasandubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishamebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vikasa Swaminati Namane Vajajana Rasavedi Prachita Shri Jaya Shri Sahaparikara Gaurang Rankita Swanta Bhumihi Bhuna Vidata Tirtha Stoma Kirtir Vitai Bhuvi Jayati Vikaso Bhakti Purvo Yatindraha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminati Namane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshatarine Vagisha Yasya Vadane Lakshmir Yasya Chavakshasi Yasyasya Hridaye Samvitam Nrsimham Aham Bhaje Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukham Karti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripatam Aham Bande Shri Gurum Dinataranam Parmananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Yasya Devi Parabhakti Yata Devi Tata Gurum Tasyaite Katita Hyata Prakashante Mahatmanaha. This is a very amazing purport, Srila Prabhupada. And this is, if we go back to verse number 31 of this, like I was sharing in the beginning of the seminar, we can see this over here. Okay, yeah. The Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Jnanam Parama Guhya Me Yad Vijnanam Samanvitam Yad Vijnana Samanvitam Sa Rahasyam Tadangam Cha Grihana Gaditam Maya. So over here, no. Go to the Sanskrit, please. So there's two things. He says Parama Guhyam. You see, that means in the word for word translation, Prabhupada translates it as Parama extremely Guhyam confidential. Of me. And then again, Krishna says, Sa Rahasyam. And what is that Parama Guhya? What is that most confidential knowledge? What's the most confidential, Parama Guhya, the most confidential secret of Krishna is devotional service, Sa Rahasyam. So we can see that over here in this verse that we are reading, that Rahasya, that most confidential knowledge is being revealed. The mystery of devotional service is being revealed actually. That how is it that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, although he is, he may be manifesting elsewhere, like like Prabhupada says, that the impersonalists can imagine or even perceive that the Supreme Brahman is thus all-pervading, and therefore they conclude that there's no possibility of his personal form. Prabhupada says, herein lies the mystery of his transcendental knowledge. This mystery is called love of Godhead. And one who is surcharged with such pure love of Godhead can without difficulty see the personality in every atom and every immovable and movable object. And at the same time, he can see the personality of Godhead in his own abode Goloka, enjoying eternal pastimes with his eternal associates who are expansions of his transcendental existence. This vision is the real mystery of spiritual knowledge. So we can understand that this mystery of love of God is actually the topmost secret of spiritual life. That the devotee has perfect vision. What does it mean? Does he not need glasses? No, that's not what it means. Perfect vision means he's able to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead within every atom of the universe. He's also able to see the personal presence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which means he has complete realization of the three stages of the Supreme Personality of Godhead: Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. He's able to see. He's able to see all these three aspects of the Supreme Lord. And because he's able to see this, he's able to understand how Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God and how he gets it. And how is this knowledge got? How do we get this knowledge? We get this knowledge through devotional service. That the devotees, they have perfected one thing. And what is the thing that they have perfected? They have perfected Drigdrishya Vichar. They have perfected the truth of understanding who is the seer and who is the seen. So the devotees, they know the secret. They know the secret as to how to attain the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What is the secret to attain the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Is Gopi Bratu Patakamalayur Dasa Dasa Anudasa. So the translation of this verse is, what's the translation of this verse? The servant of the servant of the servant. Translation of that verse is that we become a servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of the gopis. And then we also see this in the nectar of instruction, Tannama Rupa Chaitadi Sukirtana Anu Smrityo Kramena Vasana Manasini Yojya Tishtan Vrajeta Danuragi Jananugami Kalam Naida Kilamityu Padeshasaram. That the essence of all advice is to chant the name, fame, characters, pastimes, and all the activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead 24 hours a day. And we do it by doing what? By following a very intimate associate of Krishna in Vrindavan. That is the secret of attaining the highest level of love of God. And there's a few different angles we can go at this. We can look at this purport with. But one of the things that I'd like. Can I please say Bhaktisiddhanta Vaibhava, Volume 1? One of the things that also I'd like to look at would also a few verses in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, and if someone can pull this up over here. So this is Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, and you can please go to chapter 21. You don't know how to use it? Okay. You can please go to chapter 22. You can go to verse number 4 of chapter 22. Okay, so what is this verse that we are reading in Chaitanya in the Bhagavatam? What is this primarily focusing on? Huh? No. Yeah. The last two verses was focusing on Sambandha, and this one is focusing on Abhideya. So you can see how this verse starts. Eba kahi shuna abhideya lakshana ya haite pai Krishna Krishna premadhana. It's a very important verse. Now I shall speak to you. Yeah, you can. Please, if you can move these two books, I'll have more room. Yeah, you can put them away. Now I shall speak about the characteristics of devotional service, by which one can attain shelter of Krishna and his loving transcendental service. So then, over here, Lord Chaitanya goes on to explain. Okay. So you can look at verse number 7. Advaya Gyan Tattva Krishna Swayam Bhagavan Swarupa Shakti Rupa Tanre Haya Avashtan. Krishna is a non-dual absolute truth, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although he is one, he maintains different personal expansions and energies. For what reason? For his personal pastimes. And then we can see this over here. You can go to verse number 32. And in this, there's two more. Go to verse number 17, actually. You'll see this over here. Devotional service to Krishna is the chief function of the living entity. There are different methods for the liberation of the conditioned soul: karma, jnana, yoga, and bhakti. But all are dependent on bhakti. Without devotional service, all other methods for spiritual realization are weak and insignificant. Unless one comes to devotional service of Lord Krishna, jnana and yoga cannot give one desired results. So now we can go to verse number 32. Verse number 31. This is a very famous verse. Everyone should know this verse. Krishna Surya Sama, Maya hai andhakar, Yahan Krishna Taha nahi Maya adhikar. Krishna is compared to the sunshine and Maya is compared to darkness. Wherever there is sunshine, there cannot be darkness. As soon as one takes to Krishna consciousness, the darkness of illusion, the influence of external energy will immediately vanish. That's amazing, isn't it? Yeah, I said 31. I said we should learn this verse. No. What's going on? Yeah, this is the verse. So devotees should learn this verse. It's very important. It's very important for devotees to know this verse because Prabhupada quoted it so many times. It's the crux of our entire philosophy, actually. So we see this over here. Okay, you go to the purport, and Prabhupada makes a very important point over here. You know that actually Prabhupada quotes the Catuh Sloki in this purport, the one we just read. And then in the next paragraph, Prabhupada, now he goes into this one. Wherever there is light, there cannot be darkness. When a living entity becomes Krishna conscious, he is immediately relieved of all material lusty desires. Lusty desires and greed are associated with rajas and tamas, passion and ignorance. When one becomes Krishna conscious, the modes of passion and darkness immediately vanish, and then the mode of goodness remains. When one is situated in the mode of goodness, he can make spiritual advancement and understand things clearly. This position is not possible for everyone. When a person is Krishna conscious, he continuously hears about Krishna, thinks about him, worships him, and serves him as a devotee. If he remains in Krishna consciousness in this way, the darkness of Maya certainly will not be able to touch him. Okay, so now this is a verse. Verse number 32. That the external illusory energy of Krishna, known as Maya, is always ashamed to stand in front of Krishna, as darkness is ashamed to remain before sunshine. However, that Maya bewilders the unfortunate people who have no intelligence. They simply boast that this material world is theirs, that they are the enjoyers. And this is a very important thing to understand. Then we can see over here, this is such an amazing verse actually. The next two verses are especially verse number 34, is a very famous verse for anyone who likes to surrender to Krishna, actually. We should learn this verse also. So, verse number 33, Krishna tomar haya yadi bale ek bar, maya banda haite Krishna tare kar par. One is immediately freed from the clutches of Maya if he seriously and sincerely says, My dear Krishna, although I have forgotten you for so many long years in this material world today, I am surrendering unto you. I am your sincere and serious servant. Please engage me in your devotional service. So, process of Abhidheya Gyan. One of the most important things in Abhidheya Gyan is you know how to offer prayers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Right? We don't even know how to offer prayers. If I said, all right, go pray. If you hear someone randomly off the street, all right, go pray to Krishna. They're like, who is Krishna? They may go and they may look at Gajendra and think he's Krishna. They may not know how to pray. But then, say, that's Krishna, that's God, pray to him. And then what will they pray? They'll pray, please remove my distress, or please remove my problems, please give me money, please make me famous, do this, do that, and the other thing. They may always pray for stupid things like this. But we learn from the process of Abhidheya how to pray to Krishna. Prabhupada taught us how to pray to Krishna. The Bhagavatam, the Bhagavatam is the answer to all questions, but we don't even know what questions to ask. Right? You never seen yourself in the situation where you think that, I don't even know what questions to ask right now. I'm in such a miserable situation, I don't know. That's why the Bhagavatam gives you perfect questions and perfect answers. It gives you the perfect, these are the things I should ask about, actually. I don't even know what to ask about. Therefore, Prabhupada is so expert that he's teaching us how to pray. Everything we know about devotional service is how to pray to Prabhupada. Now, how to pray to Krishna, and of course, we also pray to Prabhupada, and we perform the Prabhupada Puja and we chant Guru Vandana. So over here, we see that that Abhidheya Gyan helps you understand how to serve Krishna properly. This chapter of the Chaitanya Charitamrita is called the process of devotional service. It's a very amazing chapter, actually. There's so much nectar in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's actually amazing. You know the secret to happiness. Anyone know what the secret to happiness is? What do you say? Okay. Okay. There's a verse, though, in regards to the Chaitanya Charitamrita. No? It's an amazing verse. Chaitanya Charitamrita Nitya Koro Pan Yaha Haite Premananda Bhakti Tattva Gyan. It's a very, you can find this verse. Chaitanya, don't disturb this though. Don't disturb this, someone else can look it up. Chaitanya Charitamrita Nitya Koro Pan Yaha Haite Premananda Bhakti Tattva Gyan. It's a very amazing verse. That if you really want to be happy, just study the Chaitanya Charitamrita every day and then you will be happy. That's the secret to happiness, actually. It's amazing. My spiritual master has a lecture on this, saying what's he going to say, But this verse was amazing. So anyway, so it's a very amazing verse. So please engage me in your service. And now this verse, if you really want to know how to pray to Krishna, this is a promise made by Lord Ramachandra. And you can also pray to Krishna like this. So please look at this. We should all know this verse. I only part know this verse. I promise I'm going to learn this verse. Sakradeva prapanno yes tavas miti yachate abhayam sarvada tasmai dadam yetad vratam mama. This is Lord Rama. He says, it is my vow that if one, only once, seriously surrenders unto me, saying, my dear Lord, from this day I am yours, and prays to me for courage, I shall immediately award courage to that person. He will always remain safe from that time on. Isn't that so beautiful? This is the promise that Lord Ramachandra makes. Anyway, even once, if we go up to Krishna and we surrender, this is actually one of the principal verses of Sharanagati. It's very, very important verse, actually. That so amazing. Even once, with the iota of sincerity that we can muster, if we go and we approach the Supreme Person, I am yours. It is his vow. That even when once seriously surrenders, that's the thing. We have to seriously surrender to Krishna. And not like, okay, I surrender, and okay, right away I'm going to go, I just surrender to Krishna, I can go and smoke a joint now, everything will be fine. Not like that. But seriously surrender. Seriously surrender means what? Seriously taking the process of Sharanagati. We accept what's favorable in Krishna consciousness, we reject what's unfavorable. We learn the process of Sharanagati is given to us by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is all Abhideya Gyan. All this is Abhideya Gyan. We should understand this. And who is the deity of Abhideya Gyan? That's right. And who is the Acharya of Abhideya Gyan? Who is the Acharya of Abhideya Gyan? The Vrindavan visitors should know this. The three principal deities of Vrindavan are? No. Yes. Yes. No. No. Come on. Who is the Prayojana deities of the Supreme Lord? Come on. We should know these. Gopinath, Radha Gopinath. That's why we chant Jaitam Soto Pangur Mamamanda Matirgati Matsarva Swapadam Bojo Radha Madana Mohano. Adi Leela, chapter 1, text number 14. We can get back to this. Are you angry with me, or why are you looking at me like that? Okay. Okay, you're thinking, okay. Is that it? Go to the next verse. Yeah, there is it. Wow, okay. I'm surprised. I usually don't remember verse on Chaitanya Charitamrita. Okay. Look at this. Very amazing. Glory to the all-merciful Radha and Madan Mohan. I am lame and ill-advised, yet they are my directors, and their lotus feet are everything to me. That is how you pray. And then the next verse is so beautiful. Divyad Vrindaranya Kalpadrumada Srimad Ratnagara Simhasanasto Srimad Radha Shilagovinda Devo Preshtali Be Savior Manos Marami. This is a very beautiful verse. In the temple of jewels in Vrindavan, underneath the desire tree, Sri Sri Radha Govinda, served by their most confidential associates, sit upon an effulgent throne. I offer my humble obeisances unto them. So if one is very eager to offer their humble obeisances to Radha Govinda, they are present in my room. The picture of Radha Govinda is there from New York. So you can offer this prayer. It's very nice. And we can offer these prayers to Raja Sundar also, no problem. And then the next verse is Srimad Rasa Rasarambi Vamsi Vatatatastitaha Karshan Venu Swaner Gopir Gopinatha Srestana. Srestana. Sri Srila Gopinath, who originated the transcendental mellow of the rasa dance, stands on the shore in Vamshi Vata and attracts the attention of the cowherd damsels with the sound of a celebrated flute. May they all confer upon us their benediction. It's such an amazing verse. And it's so amazing. And the Sambandha Gyan Acharya is? Who is? Okay. Then Abhideya Gyan Acharya is? Good guess, yes, that's right. And what about Prayojana? Huh? At least guess. No, that's right. Raghunath Das Goswami. That's good guess, yeah. Raghunath Das Goswami. He's a Prayojana Acharya. And Krishna willing, we'll look into the nectarian glories of these personalities if time permits, but I don't think it is going to permit. So maybe some other time. So we can see that these are the three principal deities of Vrindavan, and this is how we offer prayers to them. This is how, it's so amazing. We would not know how to offer. Imagine you saw Radha and Krishna. How would you offer prayers to them? What would you say? Wow, you look very beautiful. What would you say? What would you say? We don't even know what to say, actually. It's so stupid. But you see, the prayers are here. Go to the next verse. It's a really nice verse after this. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chanda Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. This is how we glorify the Panchatattva. Look at the translation. Glory to Shri Chaitanya and Nityananda, glory to Advaita Acharya, and glory to the devotees of Shri Gaura, Lord Chaitanya. Next verse. Then he gets into this whole thing. But it's very amazing. Very amazing. Now we can go back to Madhya Leela chapter 22, text number 34. That was an advertisement to learn those slokas. So now, Lord Rama is saying, it is my vow that if only one seriously surrenders unto me, saying, my dear Lord, from this day I am yours, and prays to me for courage, I shall immediately award courage to that person, and he will always remain safe from that time on. So, you can see this over here. Bhukti Mukti Siddhi Kami. This is a very famous verse. Bhukti Mukti Siddhi Kami Subhuddhi Yadi Hai Gada Bhakti Yogi Tabe Krishnera Bhajai. Due to bad association, the living entity desires material happiness, liberation, or merging into the impersonal aspect of the Lord, or he engages in mystic yoga for material power. If such a person actually becomes intelligent, he takes to Krishna consciousness by engaging in intense devotional service to Lord Krishna. So then, how do we engage in intense service to Lord Krishna? What are the qualifications? What do we need to do? And anyone remembers a verse about how to engage in intense devotional service to Krishna? Should know this verse. Okay, you know a line from the verse. How does it start? That's right. Akama sarva kamova, moksha kama udharadi, tivrena bhakti yogena, yajeta purusham param. Whether one desires everything or nothing, or whether he desires to emerge into the existence of the Lord, he is intelligent only if he worships Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by rendering loving service. Now this is so amazing. So now, Abhideya Gyan involves knowing how to offer prayers to the Supreme Personality of God. It's the mystery of devotional service, right? The impersonalists cannot understand it. But the devotees can understand it. Why? Because they're in proper disciplic succession. That's why. So now, this is very amazing. So, when we go and approach Krishna, we may have material desires. Like, is it just me or is it anyone else? Anyone else? Okay, just two of you. All of you are pure devotees. Paramahamsas. So, thank you. But anyway, for conditioned souls like myself and the few others in this room, we go and we ask Krishna, Krishna, like, okay, I have this desire and that desire. I remember actually, other Mataji is going to Tirupati. When you're on your trip to India, she hasn't even heard about that place. Okay, so like in your itinerary, where are the Matajis going? Is Tirupati on there? Probably not. I doubt it. Okay, so definitely they're not going to Tirupati. So in Tirupati, actually, you definitely been right. Otherwise, it's part of this body is to go to Tirupati. I mean, it's otherwise like you're like a bogus Telugu if you don't go to Tirupati. Any Telugu who hasn't gone to Tirupati is a bogus Telugu. So in Tirupati, there's this stone, okay, and I was very fortunate because my grandfather, being one of the richest men in India, back in like I don't know 1970 or whatever, he donated like an unbelievable amount of money. And, maybe like back in the day, like 300,000 rupees or something like ridiculous, like, a lot, like, 5 lakhs or something back in like 1970s, a lot of money, right? So, he donated that. And then, for Lord Balaji, if you look at Balaji, he is blinged out. Like, the Black Brothers of Atlanta, like they try to like be blinged out, but they don't know what it means to be blinged out. Like Lord Balaji is blinged out. Like, he has from top to bottom, like diamonds, rubies, emeralds, pearls, everything amazing. He is blinged out, to the max. So like on Balaji's crown, one of his crowns, my grandfather donated like these, with that money he donated, and they bought like these beautiful rubies and gems. So we would get like, super special Mahat Darshan, like, where people would be standing for like, almost a day, and then, like, we would go to that like Maha special VIP special thing, like special darshan. And we could be in front of Balaji for 4 or 5 hours in the inner sanctum. So yeah, it was like special like nectar. I swear. And my grandfather would say, "Don't close your eyes. Don't close your eyes." I say, it's hard. I mean, like, But anyway, and we would see. I was like, really. And then over there, like the pujaris, they called me over. This is one of the penultimate time I was in India. He called me over and he said, "You see, like, there's this rock over here, and whatever desire you have, you write on this rock, and the Lord will definitely fulfill it." So I thought, like, dude, I hit the jackpot here. Then like all my family members, like, they were lining up, and because I was like 16 or whatever, like, they put me in the front. So then I got there and I was like writing. And I was like, basically, like, my brother's like, "Are you writing a big essay or what are you writing over here?" But I had like so many material desires. Oh, yeah, that was one of them. I should get like this much. I should get this much on my SAT. I should do. I like just imagine like all the material, like all these. Man, I want to be like really like famous, and I want to be this. I want to be really rich, and all these things are like right. I'm like, dude, I don't know when I'll get here again. So like I was like right. I was like, and you have to write with your finger too. Like it's not like you have a pen, like writing like this, with my finger though, like this, writing the whole time. My brother's like, "Oh, dude, I like all my cousins too were like, come on, we have to do it too." I said, "Yeah, it's okay, chill, bro, chill." And then like I hustled more time with it, and I wrote like this big list, and then like anyway, after that, my brother he wrote like one thing, and everyone else wrote one thing. I was thinking, these guys are fools. They're missing out. But then, and then I realized, and then this is the next purport you see over here. Anya kami yadi kare Krishna bhajan, Rambhagi teha Krishna tare dena swacharan. If those who desire material enjoyment or merging into the existence of the absolute truth engage in the Lord's transcendental loving service, they will immediately attain shelter at Krishna's lotus feet, although they did not ask for it. I swear, out of all the things I wrote, I did not ask for pure devotional service or an opportunity to perform it. Krishna is therefore very merciful. Now look at this. This is what Krishna thinks. Krishna kahe ame bhaje mange vishaya sukh amrita chadi visha mange e bada murk. Krishna says, if one engages in my transcendental loving service, but at the same time wants the opulence of material enjoyment, he is very, very foolish. Indeed, he's just like a person who gives up ambrosia to drink poison. And one thing, I'm just getting reminded, either it was like right before that or like one or 2 days after that or whatever, my grandfather had like this big hotel where like any pilgrims could come and stay for free, and there were like really good rooms. And then the ISKCON Tirupati people would come and keep Bhagavad Gitas in every room. So for some reason, I think it was before or after, I had taken those Bhagavad Gitas and I had like distributed them to like random people that I met. Like I didn't meet, like, didn't really, I just went to a small bhakti. And I remember that very well. Just got to realize. Ami, so now Krishna says, Ami vigya e murke vishaya kene diba, swacharanamrita diya vishaya bulaiba. Since I am very intelligent, why should I give this fool material prosperity? Instead, I shall induce him to take the nectar of the shelter of my lotus feet and forget illusory material enjoyment. Be careful. Those who are interested in purpose, those who are interested in material enjoyment are known as bhukti kami, big time. One who is interested in merging the effulgence of Brahman or perfecting the mystic yoga system is not a devotee at all. Devotees do not have such desires. However, if a karmi jnani or yogi somehow contacts a devotee and renders devotional service, Krishna immediately awards him love of God and gives him shelter at his lotus feet, although he may have no idea how to develop love of Krishna. If a person wants material profit from devotional service, Krishna condemns such materialistic desires. To desire material opulence while engaging in devotional service is foolish. Although the person may be foolish, Krishna, being intelligent, engages him in his devotional service in such a way that he gradually forgets material opulence. The point is that we should not try to exchange loving service for material prosperity. If we are actually surrendered to the lotus feet of Krishna, our only desire should be to satisfy Krishna. That is pure Krishna consciousness. Surrender is, what does surrender mean? Prabhupada writes, surrender means that we demand, that means not that we demand something from Lord Krishna, but we completely depend on his mercy. If Krishna likes, he may keep his devotee in a poverty-stricken condition, or if he likes, he may keep him in an opulent position. The devotee should not be concerned in either case. He should simply be very serious about trying to satisfy the Lord by rendering him service. Okay, now this next verse, most devotees can have like pratyaksha pramana of this verse, okay? This is from the 5th canto. Satyam dishatyar artitam artito nrinam nivartado yat punar artita yataha swayam vidhate bhajatam anichyatam ichcha pidanam nijapada pallavam. Whenever Krishna is requested to fulfill one's desires, he undoubtedly does so. But he does not award anything which, after being enjoyed, will cause one to petition him again and again to fulfill further desires. When one has other desires but engages in the Lord's service, Krishna forcibly gives shelter at his lotus feet where one will forget all other desires. That is so amazing. But that is the whole process of devotional service, that even if we come to Krishna with material desires, Krishna will fulfill all the desires on your list that you ask, but he'll fulfill it in such a way that you will never want to have that freaking experience ever again. And I pray to Krishna, please let me get into NYU. Do I ever want to go back there? Never again. Never again. I never again want to go back to that place. Why? It's hellish, And it was really hell. Like now that I think about it, it was so hellish. It was so bad. Really miserable. And we can think about it too. Like, we may, and even we see in devotional service, we may have so many desires, and Krishna fulfills them. Especially if like it's not if it's not like necessarily like a material thing. Like, oh, it'll be really nice. Like, if I could have had this prasadam, and like next thing a few days later, that prasadam shows up. Like, wow, this is amazing. But and then you feel like, oh man, I really wasted like my freaking like prayer. Like, damn, I should have been asking for like love of God or something like that. And instead I'm thinking like, oh man, this pakora, that what's that, eggplant? No, it's not eggplant. Sorry, cream cheese pakora. Like, oh man, it's been a while since I had that. Yeah, we did pray for such prasadam in New York, and Krishna fulfilled our desires. But I was also thinking, yeah, at that moment, if we had prayed for love of God, we'd have been floating in Krishna Prema by now. But anyway, we're here now, and at least now we know what to do and what not to do. But we can see this too. Like, but one of the other things that we were also praying for, like in New York, there was like this long dry spell of no one joining. 8 years of not a single bhakta joining. In 8 years of Harinam, in New York City, there was only one guy that joined. And it was me. And I had like all this like previous like, things. Yeah, I went to Tirupati and like made all these like Maha desires and all that stuff, But like, I was the only, and no one joined. We were thinking, oh my God. I remember I was like, in New York, we had like this, there's a D train, in close to Harlem, and we were coming from like Jackson Heights, so you have to take the orange train line. So you go from the F train to the D train, and then, when you're in the D train, there's like this escalator, and you could take the escalator and it takes you all the way to the top, and then and this is just a few stairs. But sometimes the kids in New York City are so amazing that they would play a prank and they would like mess up the escalator. So then what would happen was, we had this Harinam cart, okay? We had a Harinam cart, and this cart was filled with like mridanga, harmonium, this, that, and the other thing. And also, I would have my U-line with books. So we would literally have to physically, two of us would have to carry this whole thing up, come down, pick up this whole thing of like the books, and again go, and we had to do that. And I remember I was pushing the cart with Krishna Prasad, and after this whole thing, I said, Krishna Prasad, we've been like doing this together for so many years now. Do you think it'll just be like the same crew, like both of us, like when we're old, we're still like moving the cart, or like, are we ever going to have anyone join? Like, what do you think, And I remember asking him that very precisely. And, it was really like a deep thought. I was like, will anyone ever join? We're laughing now, bro. But I was like really crying, like, bro, I've distributed so many books in New York. Like, we've been doing Hainam every day. And then, like, no one joined. That was really painful, actually, No, your biggest program was 8 people. And they never joined either, And they never came back. They never joined. And it was like, and we were just like, like it was like crying alone in the wilderness, It was so bad. But, after some time, Krishna fulfills your desire. But, we have lots of desires, So, we can see in this verse that we were reading, Prabhupada says there's one reason why Lord Brahma's desires never go unfulfilled. What's the reason? He's always engaged in the pure loving service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, if you always engage in the pure loving service of Krishna, then there's no way that your desires will be unfulfilled. Why? Because we have no desires of our own. Guru Mukha Padma Vakya, Chitete Koriya Aikya, Arna Kori Humane Ash. We have no desires of our own. Our only desire is to make the words of the spiritual master one with our heart. But then when the spiritual master gives you an instruction, it's not just some random words, but it's the flute sound of Krishna. It's a flute of Krishna. It's a sound emanating from the flute of Krishna. And then it's not just some words, but these words are a seed which plant in your heart, and it just becomes like this big Maha tree of like devotional service. You just see how Srila Prabhupada, he only got one instruction from Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur every single time that he met him. What was the instruction? If you ever get money, print books and preach in the English language. Right? And it's part of the same instruction. He didn't give him anything, and also another thing you should be doing. No, he just told him this every time that he met him. And just see, like Prabhupada got that one instruction, and then how it expanded. Okay, print books in the English language. Okay, in India, people speak English, but like where the people really speak English, okay, let's go to that country. And he expanded devotional service, and then he expanded that same printing books order into like printing books in English and German and Spanish and all these other languages, and like taking Krishna consciousness all over the world, coming back to India, doing this is inconceivable. It's one order of the Guru. Why? And why? And why does Narottam Das Thakur say after Arna Kori Humane Ash? Why does he say Shri Guru Charane Rati Ese Uttamagati Ye Prasade Pure Sarva Ash? Why is he saying that? Like, why is he saying you have no other desire? And then you're saying, why will the Supreme Lord fulfill all our desires? Why does he say that? Why? Because a bona fide disciple has attachment to the lotus feet of the spiritual master. And when a bona fide disciple has attachment to the lotus feet of the spiritual master, he gets unlimited inspiration from just one instruction of the spiritual master. Just one instruction. Just one. Boom. And then like everything just comes out of that. It's inconceivable, actually. And we see that the spiritual master gives instructions in the form of his lectures. He gives instructions in the form of his books. He gives lectures in the form of his letters, emails, all these things. And it's really, and the spiritual master can see way far, way beyond, like we can even understand and fathom. For example, when, in my own life, I had this experience. My spiritual master told me, he wrote me a letter. It'll be really glorious. It'll be a great triumph if you can bring back book distribution to the level that it used to be in New York City. Please keep this order in mind as you continue to increase your responsibilities there. And I was like a bhakta, or like I just got in here thinking, what responsibilities will I have? Like making sure like the wheel on the book bag is moving, or like, what really, what responsibilities do we have, and then like next thing, all these things just show up out of nowhere, So the spiritual master has that, why? Because he is Sattvadarshi, he knows Krishna. Being a pure devotee of Krishna, he knows, Trikala Gyan, he knows. Spiritual master knows. He knows what Krishna wants him to know. That's why someone asked Srila Prabhupada, does the spiritual master know everything? Srila Prabhupada said yes. He knows whatever Krishna wants him to know. Then they asked, Prabhupada, how many windows are there on the Empire State Building? Then Prabhupada asked him, how many drops of water are there in a mirage? Do you understand how many drops of water are there in a mirage? Like, it's like a stupid thing. Like, the spiritual master knows what Krishna wants him to know. So like in that's the potency of the instruction of the spiritual master. Here Krishna says, Kama lagi Krishna bhaje, paya Krishna rase, kama chedi dasa haite, haya abhilase. When someone engages in Lord Krishna's devotional service for the satisfaction of the senses, and instead acquires a taste for serving Krishna, he gives up his material desires and willingly offers himself as an eternal servant of Krishna. It's very amazing. And where is it? Okay, and Prabhupada would quote the next verse very often, especially the last time. Swamin kritartosmi varam nayache. Sthana bilashi tapasi sitoham tvam praptavan deva munindra guhyam kacham vichinvanapi divya ratnam swamin kritartosmi varam nayache. When he was being blessed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Dhruv Maharaj said, "O my Lord, because I was seeking an opulent material position, I was performing severe times of penance and austerity. Now I have gotten you, who are very difficult to attain for the great demigods, saintly persons, and kings to attain. I was searching after a piece of glass, but instead I have found a most valuable jewel. Therefore, I am so satisfied that I do not wish to ask any benediction from you." This is so amazing. The Dhruv Maharaj is praying like this, and we can see the spiritual master is very expert at engaging his disciples, So in this regard, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur tells a story. Everyone likes to hear stories, I guess, but he tells a story. So once there were two zamindars. There were two landlords, and then one of them was lamenting, I have all these servants, they come and they work on the land for some time. And then after some time, they just go away. Then again, I have to go find new servants. Again, they come for some time, work on the land, and they go away. It's too much of a headache. I don't know what to do. So then his landlord friend gives him an idea. He says, hey, now the current batch of servants that you have, what you should do is you should feed them balam rice and ghee. Balam rice is like a very fine quality of rice. And also make sure that you give it to them with ghee. And you keep the minimum, give them like a very little service to do. And for a few months, you just feed them this. And then after some time, you can start pushing them. And you just tell me what happens. So after a few months, both these landlords meet again. It's from Upakhyana Upadesh of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. The two landlords meet again. And then they say like, wow, so how's it going? He said, I can't believe it. It's really amazing. They're working so well. And then, the landlord friend tells him, see, now this is the secret that you're saying. The goal of you getting them there is to engage them in serving the land and doing all these things. But when you give them this balam rice and ghee, what happens is they start becoming attached to what they receive as balam rice and ghee, the balam rice and ghee. And they say that even if they were to leave you and go elsewhere, they'll come back feigning that, we are too attached to you and we simply want to serve you. But actually what they're attached to is the balam rice and ghee, because they cannot get that anywhere else. And that's the reason why the landlord was able to keep his servants with him. So what is the purport of the story? Now similarly, the spiritual master, he sees that the living entity is a conditioned soul. He has so many material desires, but he gives him balam rice and ghee. He gives him different facilities and gives him different positions and gives him different opulences, this, that, and the other thing, which he will never get if he goes anywhere else. Anywhere else if you go, you'll never get it anywhere else. Where will you go? Where, everything will be taken care of. Yes, I was just telling Chandan, like, bro, I'm like so spoiled, So Chandan saw that I had like this, I've been using this knee pillow. It's a pillow for the knee. It's like a really small pillow. I thought like this is so convenient. I can like take it wherever I go. I've been using this knee pillow as the pillow for my head and going to sleep every night for like God knows how long now. And then Chandan saw that and he said, "Is that why your shoulder's messed up?" I said, "I don't have any shoulder problem." "What do you mean?" Like, "Yeah, you do." And then I realized I actually do. And then and then he said, "No, you need another pillow." I said, "Okay, give me another pillow." And then right away, boom, out of nowhere, like a really amazing pillow, he shows up. And then I was thinking, yeah, I should offer it. And Ali was like, "You know what, I'll offer it." And he grabs it and he offers it. And then Chandan is like, "You need a pillowcase." I said, yeah, I'll get it later. And then he said, "You know what, I got it." And he put it on for me. I was thinking, damn, I'm so spoiled, And he's like, if you go anywhere else, like, would someone treat you like that? Nowhere else. It's balam rice and ghee of the spiritual master. You go anywhere else, like, you're sitting and like you're eating and then, yeah, I want some more of this. Yeah, give me some more of that. Yeah, and like people going on, "Do you want anything? Do you want anything?" And like, where would you get this? It's a balam rice and ghee of the spiritual master. It really is like, someone is eating like, "Oh yeah, bro, you want something?" "I got it." Yeah, and then like you get up and like, there's a competition as to who will wipe your spot. Like, I mean, where will you get this? Where will you get this? Anywhere else? Like, some Brahmachari think like, "Yeah, if I get married, it'll definitely be like that." And the Grihasthas tell you, definitely it's not like this. Like they'll tell you straight up on the spot, it's definitely not like this, Prabhu. They'll tell you that. They'll tell you it's true. Everyone, it's not there. The balam rice and ghee doesn't exist anywhere else. So the spiritual master knows how to engage the disciples, like, properly, like, "Oh, Guru Maharaj, I'm so attached to you." But, when like things get really tough, how many people are actually there? That's the real test of devotion. And, we'll hope that, of course, like, unlike the landlord and his servants, the process of devotional service is so purifying that we get purified of our material desires. We get purified of our material desires. And, whether the balam rice and ghee is there or not, we'll still continue to serve the Supreme Lord. Yeah. And then you get that experience when you're out on traveling Sankirtan, where like, I could be in the temple right now, but, it's like freaking cold outside and we have to take shower with like this freaking bottle of water and like, bathe yourself in all right, we're out here to serve the spiritual master. What happened? Oh. So we can see we're out here to serve the spiritual master. We understand, we see that. We see that and we understand it. So, these are very like important points to note. And then we will realize that, what was I doing out here in the material world in the first place? I was praying to God, asking Him for material opulences. But here, I'm so fortunate that Krishna is giving me Himself. So why not take the devotional service seriously? Why not take? Everything is there. Everything valuable is there. Everything amazing is there. And, both spiritually and materially, Krishna takes care of His devotees. Why? Especially those who are engaging in His service full time, full on. When we perform full-on devotional service, Krishna like really looks out for them. Why? Because the frontline soldiers always get the best facilities. When a country is at war with another country, the frontline soldiers, they get the best food, they get the best equipment, they get the best weapons, they get the best armor, whatever, bulletproof jacket, whatever they need. They get the best of everything. They get the best of everything. So similarly, when we engage ourselves fully, like out of nowhere, this huge estate just showed up. This is such a big thing. It's so huge, actually. I was sitting and chanting in my japa in the temple room this morning. I was saying, this is like freaking crazy. I can't believe it. I can't believe that this is here right now. How is this even possible? So amazing. So many things. Like, how is this possible, But, Krishna provides. That was like the Mahavakya of the disciples of Srila Prabhupada back in the day. Krishna provides. But I guess now it's like spiritually evolved to Krishna always comes through. It's like a little Atlanta style for us. But like, the meaning is the same. Like same old wine in a different bottle. That will now for us, because we're in Atlanta, we say Krishna always comes through. But the slogan is the same, because the spiritual master teaches you how to depend upon Krishna. That is the essence of Abhidheya Gyan. The spiritual man, this is the mystery of devotional service. This is the mystery of devotional service. And as we perform, devotional service, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, eventually we'll become purified of all our material desires. That's why we're here. So the secret is to always be engaged in the service of the spiritual master. And to be engaged in the service of the spiritual master means intense devotional service. There's no working around it, actually. When a spiritual master is bona fide, he will intensely engage us in devotional service. How many times does your alarm go off and you think, oh, I wish I didn't have to wake up in the morning? So many times. But still, we wake up. Why? Because, we're trying to develop love for the spiritual master. My spiritual master asked me to do so. Because he asked me to do so, we have to do it. That's why, at least for me, my favorite in all the verses that are there in Shastra and everything that I've come across and all this and all that, there's 4 words which are my favorite. Guru, Vakya, Parama, Mahatva. That Guru, Vakya, Parama, Mahatva. That the orders of the Gurus is the topmost importance. There's nothing more important than this. Guru, Vakya, Parama, Mahatva. There's nothing more important than this. And as long as the order of the spiritual master is being fulfilled, doesn't matter if it's hell or heaven. This is the essence of it. And if we perform the devotional service with such attitude, like for Prabhupada, he's a personification of Guru Vakya Parama Mahatva. He's a personification of that. I can even see in my own spiritual master. He's a personification of Srila Prabhupada's desire to be like that. Guru Vakya Parama Mahatva. And because of that reason, they'll undergo anything. Prabhupada would even go through fire to serve his spiritual master. What's the big deal? He would do anything for the spiritual master. Whatever spiritual master asked him, he would do it. Whatever spiritual master. And just see what a task. My spiritual master always says this, that, before Srila Prabhupada came to the West, one could not imagine how there would be so many temples all over America and all over the world. One could not, and now we can see how would it not be that we're going somewhere and we definitely know wherever we're going there's going to be some temple somewhere, something at least close by. We have some understanding, something will be. But before it was unimaginable, actually. Unimaginable. How is this going to happen? But then it happened everywhere. It's happening. Why? Simply because of the Tivra Bhakti, because of the intense devotional service that Srila Prabhupada performed. Guru Vakya Parama Mahatva. Never mind if he has to go on a cargo ship, and suffer 2 heart attacks and have all this happen to him. Never mind all these things. There's this thing. I'm unable to remember the key words actually right now, but I showed it to you in your house, Jonathan. Ali, you were there too. About the in Jonathan's house, yeah. About the Dasha avatars appearing and rowing the boat for Srila Prabhupada. I'm wondering what are the key words, how to find it. I'll find it. It's very amazing, actually. When we do this, why? Krishna also becomes very pleased. I'll pull it up. Hold on. Okay, Jaladuta Diary. It's in Prabhupada Leelamrita. Okay, I'm unable to find the exact quote over here, but it's also in this lecture Srila Prabhupada gave. He speaks about this. Anyway, I'll pull up the reference. I remember I was reading it to all of you. Somehow Krishna gave me the intelligence to find it that time. Right now, I'm unable to find it. Okay, let's see. Yeah. No. There's another one. Anyway, I'm unable to pull it up. But I can say the pastime. But Srila Prabhupada had suffered his second heart attack, and then he thought he would not make it if he had another one. And that night he had a dream that all the incarnations of Krishna are rowing his boat, and they give him assurance, that don't worry, your mission will be successful and everything will be fine. They give him assurance. Prabhupada sees it. Prabhupada has experience of this. So we should understand, that everything comes from following the order of the spiritual master. Over here in the next verse, he says, because I'm fallen, I shall never get a chance to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This was my false apprehension. Rather, a person as fallen as I am may get to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although one is being carried away by the waves of the river of time, one may eventually reach the shore. This was spoken by Akrura. Next verse. By good fortune, one becomes eligible to cross the ocean of nations. And when one's term of material existence decreases, one may get an opportunity to associate with pure devotees. By such association, one's attraction to Krishna is awakened. So we understand these. It's very amazing. And there's so many verses glorifying. There's so many verses glorifying. And then we can see in verse number 47. You found it? Yeah, he speaks about this, right? Yeah, you can send it to Ali and he can mirror it. Oh yeah, whatever. It's really hard for me to see. Okay, Prabhupada, so it is a great history. Can I just have your phone? Because I really can't read it from here. So Prabhupada says this in a room conversation. So it is a great history. Laughs. There was 2 days I was attacked in heart on the ship. So hardship. Guess. Then you had a dream? What was that, Srila Prabhupada? That is, laughs. The dream was I must come here. It was some instruction that you go. There you go. Prabhupada says, the dream was that Krishna in his many forms was bowing the row. What is this called? Prabhupada says, bowing the row. Prabhupada says, bowing the row. Well, we should change the dictionary to mean the right thing. Yes, rowing the boat, yes. And when I arrived in Boston, I wrote the poetry Markine Bhagavata Dharma. So Prabhupada is saying, yes. Yeah, the next day, and then Captain Pandya said he's never seen the Atlantic Ocean so calm. When we engage in the service of the spiritual master, and we intensely engage in the service of the spiritual master, we get unprecedented empowerment to fulfill that order. If we take to heart the order of the spiritual master, that is the secret. That's the secret, actually. There's no greater secret than that. Is the mystery of devotional service. Prabhupada is speaking all about the mystery of Krishna and Krishna consciousness and all this and all that. But then how does he end the purport that we just said, glorifying the spiritual master? That's how he ends it. Anyway, there's so many verses I wanted to go over. I don't know if I'll be able to right now. But we can see this over here in verse number 70 of this chapter. Yeah, this is such an amazing verse. We should all know the Bengali for this. It's a very, very nectarian verse. Yo bhavet komala shraddha se kanish. Is this it? Yeah. Se kanishto ni. That is not the verse. Okay. Let's see. Where'd that verse go? I should have made a note of it. Sorry. Okay. Go to 72. Sarva bhutesha yaf pashed bhagavat bhavam atmanaha bhutani bhagavat atmani esha bhagavatottamaha. A person advanced in devotional service sees within everything. This is the exact verse that we were reading actually similar to the verse we were reading today for the Bhagavatam class in the seminar. Sees everything. The soul of souls, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, Consequently, he always sees the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead as a cause of all causes and understands that all things are situated in him. Next verse. Ishvaretad adineshu balisheshu dushatsu cha prema maitri kripopeksha yak karoti samadhyamaha. Intermediate second class devotee shows love for the Supreme Personality of God. It's friendly to all devotees and is very merciful to neophytes and ignorant people. The intermediate devotee neglects those who are envious of the devotional service of Krishna. Anyway, this whole chapter speaks about this specifically, but I was wanting to show the devotees one more thing. Okay. No, that's not it. Okay, I'll just quote it from memory because I'm unable to pull it up. Where is this? Okay, yeah, verse number 128. This is a very, very important verse, okay? Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan Bhagavata Shravan Mathura Vasa Srimurti Sevan Srimurti Shraddhaye Sevan. So these are the 5 most important aspects of devotional service. One should associate with devotees, chant the holy name of the Lord, hear Srimad Bhagavatam, recite at Mathura, and worship the deity with faith and veneration. Next verse. These 5 limbs of devotional service are the best of all. Even a slight performance of these 5 awakens love for Krishna. So amazing. So we should know that, by performing these things, if you're unable to go to the holy places, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, any place where Harikatha is going on is a place of the Lord's residence. It's a place of pilgrimage, actually. So we should understand that these things are there. These things are there. And when we serve the lotus feet of the spiritual master with utmost faith and utmost sincerity, then we can expect to receive their full mercy. We can expect it. There's this devotee who's Akinchana Krishnadas Babaji. He's probably like the greatest mridanga player since 1930 till now. The world hasn't witnessed this a mridanga player greater than him. But that's just a side point. More than that, he is a pure devotee of Krishna, a pure disciple of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and one of Prabhupada's best friends. He is such a pure devotee that, as a nurse, I guess you'll know. What is that instrument called where they can hear the heartbeat? They would put it and they would hear the heartbeat. Stethoscope. So he was a Babaji and he would constantly be chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Always he would be chanting. Chanting. The whole time he would be chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And, once, he was performing a pastime of being sick or something. So then this doctor came with a stethoscope. That's what it's called. And then he kept it on his heart. And when you keep stethoscope on your heart, what do you hear? Like dig, 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 dig. Right? That's what you hear. But you know what he was hearing? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. He thought, no, he's probably chanting it. And he looked at his mouth and he's not moving. And in his heart, you know what he was hearing? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. He was hearing this. You see, Supreme Lord is seeing outside and inside also. During Prabhupada's sannyas ceremony, there was this, the ceremony was going on, and then, there was kirtan also going on in the back, and then there's a fire yagya going on, and then when it was like the sacrifice was like reaching its summit, so the puja, the devotees who were doing the yagya, they were all like, say, okay, now, calm the kirtan down, cool it down, because we have to chant all these mantras real loud. Then Prabhupada looked, when they said that, Prabhupada looked at the kirtan and he said, come on, raise it up, pull it up. And Akinchana Krishnadas Babaji remembers and he says that the minute I saw Swamiji do that, the minute I saw A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami do that, I knew that he is the person who's going to go and fulfill the prophecy that my spiritual master predicted. He said he knew. And then when Srila Prabhupada disappeared, there was one disciple of Srila Prabhupada who was with him where, he said that Akinchana Krishnadas Babaji told this devotee, he told him that there's never been a point of time in the history nor they may, nor they may, there may never be any time in the future where someone would come into this material world and exhibit such amazing faith in the holy name as your spiritual master. He said that about Srila Prabhupada. Why did he say that about Srila Prabhupada? He said this about Srila Prabhupada because of this simple reason. He said it because just see what Srila Prabhupada did. Who could do what Prabhupada did if he didn't have faith in the order of his guru? How can we understand? Can I see the other two volumes too? I'm trying to look for something. If my good fortune arises, I could pull it up. Let's see. There's this really amazing section. It's just coming to my mind right now. Yeah, I guess everyone can tell this is my favorite book. But I'm trying to find a particular lecture of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. It's very amazing. Let me see if I can pull it up. Oops, sorry. So in the meantime, we can pray to Krishna that if someone, at some point of time, if someone keeps a stethoscope in our heart, they will also hear Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Can you all please chant while I'm looking for this? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Where is this? I'm able to find it. Okay, I'll read one quote, okay? So, if to carry out the command of the Vaishnav Guru, I have to be arrogant or brutish or suffer eternal perdition, I am prepared to welcome such eternal damnation and even signed a contract to that effect. I will not listen to the words of malicious person in lieu of the command of Sri Gurudev. I will dissipate with indomitable courage and conviction the currents of thought of the rest of the world, relying on the strength derived from the lotus feet of Sri Gurudev. I confess to this arrogance that no one can even have any hope of ever defeating Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur in spreading pure Shuddha Bhakti. We should always remember this. I'm looking for this lecture. I'm unable to find it. I can't believe it. I'm able to find this. This is a very amazing thing. How am I unable to, bring it up? I don't know. Anyway, maybe I'll find it tomorrow. Maybe if Krishna willing, I'll find it tomorrow. But we could end this session. I don't know if Chandan Acharya Prabhu will allow it, but if I was thinking if we could end this session by chanting the Guru Parampara song. Yeah? Okay, so please pull it up. Yeah, please. Krishna hoite chaturmukha. Okay, wait, I think I found it. You find it, the lecture, Ali? No, the song? Okay, I'll find it tomorrow maybe. Okay, so we can chant this. It's very ecstatic bhajan. And I would definitely need someone to move this phone up and down so I can. Or you can just get that phone, right? Because we're all going to be. Krishna hoy te chatur mukha, hoy Krishna sevan mukha. Can you move the table? Move the table a little back. Brahma hoy te naradera mati. Narada hoite vyas, madhva kohe vyasadas. Purna pragya padmanabha gati. Hari Madhava Vamse Akshobhya Paramamse. Shishya boli angikara kore. Akshobhira Shishya Jaya Tirtana me parichaya. Tara Dasya Gnana Sindhu Tore. Taha hoy te daya nidhi, Tara dasa vidya nidhi. Rajendra hoy lo tahai te. Tahara kinkara jaya, dharmana me parichaya. Parampara jano phalo mate. Parampara jano bhalo mate. Jaya dharma dasye khyati, Shri Purushottama jati. Taha haite brahmanya tirtha suri. Vyasa tirtha taradas, Lakshmipati Vyasadas. Taha haite Madhavendra Puri. Madhavendra Puri Bar Shishya Bar Shri Ishwar Nityananda Shri Advaita Vibhu Ishvara Puri Ke Danya Korilen Shri Chaitanya Jagat Guru Gaura Maha Prabhu Jagat Guru Gaura Maha Prabhu Mahaprabhu Shri Chaitanya Radha Krishna Nahi Anya Rupanuga Jane Rajiva Rupanuga Jane Rajiva Vishwambhara Priyankara Shri Swarupa Damodara Shri Goswami Rupa Sanata Rupa Priya Mahajana Jiva Raghunatha Tara Priya Kavi Krishna Tar Priya Kavi Krishna Das Krishna Das Priya Bar Narottama Siva Par Jarapada Vishwanatha Vishwanatha Bhakta Sata Baladeva Jagannatha Tara Priya Shri Bhakti Vinod Mahabhagavata Par Shri Gaura Kishora Par Hari Bhajane Te Char Mod Ihara Paramahamsa Gaurangira Nijapamsa Tadira Charani Mama Gati Tadira Charani Mama Gati Ami Seba Dandi Dina. Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. Shri Vashabhana Vibhar Sadasevya Sevapar. Dahara Daita Dasana. Dara Pradhan Pracharako Shri Bhakti Vedanta Nama. Dara Pradhan Pracharako Shri Bhakti Vedanta Nama. Patita Janate Doyatma. Patita Janate Doyadha. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Taking over the word with Srila Prabhupada, Chancellor Book Distribution Ki Jai. Vancha Kalpatarubhishya Kripa Sindhubhyo Cha Patitana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.